Pedro from A&P-REACTS. I'm here with Kambrium today. How are you guys doing?
Hey.
Hey.
Pretty fine.
Yeah,
How
fine.
are
Wow, it's a packed house.
you?
Kind of.
Yeah, I don't think we could. This interview reminds me of that clown car. You know how many clowns you can fit in a car. I'm not calling you guys clowns, by the way. That's not what I. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. That's not what I meant.
We have a whole orchestra standing outside the room.
You have the 16-man choir waiting outside to come in.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're standing right behind the monitor.
Yeah.
Naked.
They're the ones holding the monitor.
Yes.
Yeah,
Naked.
definitely.
Naked.
Naked?
Yeah.
Naked so.
Oiled.
Yes.
Naked so.
Oh. So let me get started with the first question that I have for you guys is how long have you guys been working on Dawn of the Five Suns?
Oh, I think
more than 2 years.
Yes, 2.5.
Maybe.
When did we release the Elder's Realm? 2016. And right after, no, even before we released Elder's Realm, I already worked for Dawn of the Five Suns.
Mm.
The funny thing is that even that the song Dawn of the Five Suns is, I think it's the oldest one on this album, and we already played it right after the release of Elder's Realm. So I think this song is nearly 2 years old. Yeah.
Well, it's been a long process. So when you guys go into the studio, do you have pretty much the whole album worked out, all the details worked out, everything worked out, so that at the point that you walk in, it's just pretty much recording?
Yes, we do demo recordings before we go into the studio, so we know what we can do, and yeah, so we have everything ready and just record it how we like it. And
yeah,
the studio guys help us and give us some tips. This is good work.
And the good thing about this is that you can see how the songs are growing. You are recording the demos, and then these demos are, I think, 1 year old until we get to the studio. And in this time, there's so much change. There are so many changes in these songs, and sometimes I've got the feeling that it's a whole other. It's a new song. It's a new version of the song that we are recording finally.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the work in the studio. Now, do you guys leave any room for changes once you go in the studio? I mean, you guys have been working on this record for like 2+ years. You're walking in, you feel like you've ironed out all the details, but when you go in, is there any room? Do you guys leave yourselves room to change things?
I can tell that there are the most changes in the studio are during the drum recordings. The drums are very different from the demo drums. We have our studio engineer who helps us to find new and cool ways to play a fill or something like that. And so the drums are the thing that are changing the most during the recording session in the studio. But I think the guitars are already recorded when we enter the studio. The orchestra is already recorded. The choirs are already recorded. We cannot change 16-headed choir. We cannot change it in the final.
Yeah, but the sound engineers got a lot of experience, and they helped us to find the right sound.
Yeah, like
and the right mix for everything.
Yeah, and singing like this or try out this or that is really cool to make it sound more properly, I guess.
You mentioned the 16-man choir. Now, you guys used a 16-man choir for the first time on your records, on this record. Can you guys shed some light on two things? I have two questions to ask you around this. The first one is, can you shed some light on who the 16 guys were? And the second question is, why did you guys decide to go with a 16-man choir for this specific record? So if you guys answer the first and you forget, I'll answer the second after. I mean, I'll ask the second again after.
Okay, the guys who we invited are friends and music colleagues who we know from concerts and just from home. And we know those guys are good singers, and everyone has his own singing style. So this was really cool to have many different styles, and those added up to a really nice choir. And yeah, this was our village, our tribe who was singing there.
Yeah, like you almost mentioned in the review, the choir was our goal to let the tribe come alive with the choir, and so we only we only work together with men, so it sounded more aggressive. And what was your second question? It was
the second question was you basically answered is why the choir on this record. I guess it was to bring the story to life. You felt that you needed that choir.
So we could write lyrics from several point of views. Like you mentioned, Tribe of Darkness. It was really the tribe who was singing. Here we are, and we had so much opportunities to use this choir in so many different ways, and I think a choir used just with manpower, it really sounds aggressive, and I really like that.
Let's see what we will do next album, if we take a mixed choir or non-choir at all. We don't know.
And that was my next question. Was this an experience that you guys really enjoyed and something that you will perhaps use in the future?
Yes,
of course,
definitely.
It was a lot of fun. We spent 2 days within 1 year, I guess, where the recordings took place, and we had I think it was 4 songs for every session. We had 2 sessions, recording sessions with the choir, and we recorded 4 songs a day, and we required a lot of people.
Yes, and and these people, to make it comfortable for them, we had a nice barbecue party outside the studio for them. So it was not just a working day. So we had the time to speak with each other and have a great time together.
Yeah.
So definitely we will do that again.
I think so.
So who's the person responsible for doing the research on the stories? Because it looks like a lot of work.
Yeah, stories. No. Stories, not just me. I'm writing most of the lyrics, but we have 2 or 3 songs where. Yeah, okay. I gave you the topic, but you wrote the lyrics for them. We did very, very much of research for the Aztec topic for the album,
especially to see how they lived and what they used, and maybe a bit how the culture could have been, and how their myth took place. And we tried to make it not historically, but just take their myth and put it in one thing with our ideas of our music and our
we put it into a musical form.
Yes, pretty much.
When I was listening to the record, I really enjoyed the storytelling aspect of the record. I really feel like that's a huge part of the record, is the story aspect, is the lyrics. At any point in time when you guys were putting the record together, did you think of giving it continuity in terms of creating one single story that spreads out throughout the whole record versus having a mixture of stories, some of them connected through several songs, some of them just individually in each song.
Well, in the Other's Realm, we did this.
Yeah.
We had a whole story in one album with one protagonist who went through his nightmares, and we wanted this time to have a big story where several things take place.
Yeah. The thing is, the concept of one story, we had that even for 2 albums before. It was Elder's Realm and the album
Dark Reveries.
Dark Reveries. Dark Reveries and Elder's Realm was one big story, and so we wanted to make something new. Not again one big story on Dawn of the Five Suns, and furthermore the myths and stories of these ancient Aztec tribes. They had so many different stories. You can't just tell one story. They had so many different great stories there.
So you can see it like a big universe where our stories take place, and there are different storylines or just pictures of the life 500 years ago or 700 years ago, kind of, but not so historically. We cut out the Spanish and stuff, so it's just about gods and myths and legends.
You can see it as
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about being extremely historical accurate. It's more about telling a story from your perspective as well. Have a little bit of your input, correct?
Yeah, I mean, the idea of XDO is pretty cool, but this would have been a different thing.
Yes, we wanted to tell something bigger. As you mentioned, the songs are larger than life, and the stories are larger than life. So you can only do this by using some stories with gods and ancient aggressive tribes.
And obviously you have more freedom as an artist if you do some imaginary things.
Yeah. And once you begin with a story which is historical correct, so you have to be historical correct. So if you have one thing that is not correct, then someone can come and say, "Oh, no,
that's wrong." Yeah.
So for me, there was a song above all songs that really resonated with me, and that was Kambrium, God of Mountains. And one of the reasons that song really resonated with me was that you guys used a narrator in that song. I really enjoyed that. It gave the song so much life to it. It almost became an audio book at that point, that song. What was the thought process from your perspective going into that song and feeling like adding a narrator to that song would create something different? Like, how the idea about adding a narrator came about?
Well, we have a favorite band. This is Whispered. They have this narrator, the exact same narrator, and we love.
Your favorite band is Whispered?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we love them.
So, yes. So the narrator is Jonathan Hutchins. He's coming from Finland, and he already worked for Turisas, Whispered, and he even gave his voice for I think it was the Swedish or the Finnish Image movie. So each country has an Image movie, and he was telling something about great mountains there and something like that.
So you get the idea.
But the thing is, we already had a narrator on our second album, Dark Reveries, but we didn't have the chance to get a professional narrator at that time. So our former guitar player Julian was doing that in the studio for us, and afterwards we saw it turned out not so great, and
it was very German.
It was very German, yes.
Very German.
very German.
Yeah.
And I can imagine it.
Yeah. So, but for us, it was very good. But
I guess for the non-German speaking, we're not.
Many people told us that sounds a little bit funny. So, and then on the Elder's Realm, we had no narrator. And this album, we thought it was time again to have a professional narrator. And during that time, from Elder's Realm or Dark Reveries until now, we listened to Whispered and Tourisas and bands like that, and we found that narrator Jonathan, and he has such a nice trailer voice. He called it trailer voice.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, it is. It's a trailer voice, and
Yeah, it's deep and warm, like your grandfather telling you a story. It's great. I liked it.
Exactly. That's exactly how it felt. Like you're around a fire, like a fireplace, having a hot drink in the winter, and your grandfather's telling you a story. That's exactly how that song felt.
Yeah, and that was the goal for that song. Yes. So and now
let me ask you this: with that warm feeling in that song, with that narrator in there. At any point in time, did you guys thought of starting the album with that song as a way? I know that song comes towards the middle of the record, but did you guys ever thought about putting that song earlier in the record to give a sense of intro as well into the record, or it never crossed your mind?
I know what you mean. Maybe not the first song, but it's an old Kambrium tradition that we have one long song on the album, but on the former albums it was the last song. The longest song was always the last song, and this time I wanted the song to be heard and not just the last part of the album. And I didn't want this song to be the first song because the first song had to be Dawn of the Five Suns, because everything starts with a new cycle, with a new with a new story, and Dawn of the Five Suns is about new cycles and one god attacking another god, the old god, to create a new cycle. So Dawn of the Five Suns is basically the beginning of everything, the beginning of a new world, if you will. And so Kabra Khan is just in the legends. It's just a small story besides everything else there. And the cycle, the story about the cycles, the Dawn of the Five Suns, that's a big and great story to start with. And I wanted to have it some like some kind of period. So not historically correct, but it has to start somewhere, and it could not just start with Kabra Khan destroying a village. So, the album begins and the village is destroyed. Wow. So I just want
you can have one of those flashback songs after, like those movies that start kind of in the middle and then it's like 3 weeks earlier.
Yes.
Or we 2 days before that.
2 days before that. So in the middle of the song.
Let's do this.
Too progressive. I can't stand it.
Let's do this next time.
You guys could have created like an audio track, like an instrumental track, where the narrator comes in and says 2 days earlier.
And if you want to know what happens if your protagonist does this or that, just skip to track 2 or 5.
700.
Wow, this
this
would become very progressive. I mean, you guys would be like trailblazing a whole new way of creating a record.
We could do several stories at the same time. So you can say in the meantime, and then story number 2. Yeah, we could do that. No.
It's just plain guitar.
So the thing is, you have to start with introducing the
universe,
theme,
the universe. The universe to the listener, to the audience.
And not only in a way of the lyrics, but also in the musical way. So it builds up and it drags you in, but not like bam with one. Yeah.
And the thing is, Kambrium himself, he's even though the story is pretty epic, he's just a small god besides all these other great gods there. He's just I just wanted to say he's just a poor boy from a poor family. No, he's just a small god. He's the son of a hell god, and he's just there to destroy mountains. And you cannot start with an angry guy destroying things. Yeah.
No, like I said, it would make for a very interactive and progressive record where you would allow people to skip from song to song depending on how they wanted the story to go.
Yes,
that would be completely insane. But so never mind that I even mentioned that.
No, that's a great idea. Some kind of a video game music. So
interactive.
Interactive music. Yes. Do you want that breakdown now, or do you skip the music?
Adjust your level of power metal, melodic metal, and different singing styles.
Oh yeah, I want something a little bit more symphonic. Press X or circle or something.
Yeah, that's good.
Let me ask you guys this thing. I really feel that for for musicians, when you put out an album together, that album is like your baby.
Yes.
And every single song and every single song on that record is like a child to you. But when you look at this record and you look at the 11 tracks that you guys put together, is there perhaps one that's your favorite? And maybe you guys, all three of you, have a different one. But I would like to hear what your favorite track is, if you will.
That is the great thing about it. I think everyone in the band has a different song that he likes. It would be very poor if everyone likes the same. So it would show that all the other songs are not as good at this one like this one.
And it depends if you like it to play it live or just listen to it, or record it. There are different aspects of every song that we like or don't like as much.
For example, my favorite is Against All Gods. Carsten's favorite is Lord of Mictlan.
Yeah, Lord of Mictlan. He always plays that riff. Yeah.
When you make these songs, do you take in consideration the live setting, or your first concern is to make the best possible song for the record, and then later down the road think about how can we incorporate this song into our live set?
The thing is that now we have got the technology to play these songs with the orchestra, with the choir, and everything else live. So the main thing is to write an album that is good for itself. The thing is, write a good album, and then you can think about playing them live.
Yeah.
But now we have got the technology to have backing tracks who are playing together with us. I don't have 16 arms to play everything, and we don't have 4 guitars and the thing.
And the band, the bus is not big enough for the choir. No.
No, you guys would need a whole new bus for the choir. I mean, either that or a trailer.
Oh, yeah. And the songs are much more complicated and harder to play for us than the last album. So we had a lot to learn, and it was really, really great. And it comes along that you learn to play them. And this time we played all songs live in the rehearsal room just to know them by heart and to be ready to play it, to record it in the studio. And in the end, it came to it that we can play all, and we want to present those songs all on our CD release party in 2 weeks. And let's see if we know them all and can play them all, which songs we will play in the future, which songs will fall out of our set list or just stay in. And we are very flexible then and have a lot of repertoire.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think for me, That's difficult. That's a difficult question. What is your favorite song? The album. The album is my favorite song. I don't know. Maybe I've heard Dawn of the Five Suns, the song Dawn of the Five Suns. Maybe I've heard it too much. I think every one of us has heard the whole album more than 100 times, more than 1,000 times. And now to pick one favorite song.
Let me just say which song you like to hear the most and which song you like to play the most.
Yes. So the song that I hear the most is Everlasting Resistance.
That's one of my favorites, by the way.
Yeah. And to play, I feel comfortable playing, I think, Ghost Shaman. I don't have much to do there.
So you can have a beer while the song is going on.
Well, next time on stage, you can bring us your beer.
Yes. Yes, I think, but the great thing about Korpiklaani, God of Mountains, is once you've started to play it live, you
can't stop to play it live.
You can't stop to play it. It's like the song and the story drags you.
They're so well merged together. You know, that song to me is an absolute masterpiece of a song, because you add the narrator, you add all the different elements that song has, the storytelling, the lyrics, the solos, everything in that song is so well balanced, it's so well put together, that it's one of those songs that when I got the album and I'm looking at the track list and I say, holy crap, over 10 minutes? What the hell is this? And then once you get in it, it's almost like the 10 minutes just fly by. You don't even notice the song is that long.
Yeah, yes. These are the best songs when you don't recognize how much they pass by when time flies by. Yes. What is
it's absolutely great. Now, let me ask you guys this: the record is coming out November 9th on NoiseArt Records. I got to put a little plug for you guys. So the album comes out November 9th. The album is all finished, ready to go. I actually have the CD already.
Yes, you have it. We don't have it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yes. That's absolutely hilarious. I should have it here with me. I have it next to me.
That's so sad. You could show us our CD now, and we don't have it.
I can do. You know what I should do? I should do an unboxing video, opening up the CD, see what's inside, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we are crying.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. So I have the CD now. The album is completed. Obviously, comes out November 9th. Looking back at the record, if you could change anything whatsoever, would you change anything, or you're 100% satisfied with the final results?
The thing is, you are.
Well, one thing you change is perhaps you would get a copy before me.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I think a mother doesn't want to change her baby once she gave birth.
Out.
Yes, once she gave birth to it. Yeah. So we don't want to change anything. I think.
And you get so attached to the songs during making them, recording them, writing them, that in the studio it's really your baby, and it's so hard to just take a few tips and change things, but in the end we trust those guys in the studio, and in the end it sounds better.
Really matter.
It doesn't really matter. Well, yeah, we like it as it is, and we can still listen to it. It's still fine, and
once you get it.
Yeah,
once we get it.
I hate you.
Now, you guys talked about the release party. So around November 9th, are you guys going to have a release show?
Yes, and we are playing the whole new album and
the old shit.
And the old shit. And,
now, are you going to do the whole new album in sequence, or are you going to just alternate new shit with old shit?
No. In sequence, the whole album.
But not in the order as it comes on the CD, I guess, right?
Sure. Yes,
Yes,
the
sure.
right
In the right order.
the right order
Okay.
as it comes on the album. We
Okay.
play the first album, then we have I think 5 minutes or 4 minutes to recover, and then we play our old shit. Yes.
Now, are you guys going to have the 16-man choir for this release party, or there's just no room for those guys?
They are
A
in
lot
the
of
audience.
them. Yeah, a lot of them.
So they can sing from the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will, and we will have. Martin, what do you have in plan?
Yeah, we've got a beamer, you know. Is it called beamer?
I don't
projector.
Projector.
Yeah, because a beamer here is a BMW, which, I mean, you guys are German, so that would make sense to have a beamer there.
Yeah, we've got a projector, and the whole core voices, the lyrics, we will project them on the wall so that the audience can sing along with us the core voices.
That's
that
so
would be
cool.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so cool. Is this being recorded, or are you guys doing anything, or is just like?
Good idea. We should
Good
do
idea.
it.
Maybe we should do it. There are some photographers there who take photos.
And maybe we take a few video shots too. Let's see
Yeah.
what we can do.
So we definitely will set up some GoPros somewhere on the location there. But there's no professional filming team there, which is what that's actually very sad.
But it's easy for the sound guy to put the record button.
Yeah.
No, and I was going to say, you mentioned GoPros. I really hope you guys do the GoPro on the guitar or the bass, where you get the view coming down to the hands of the guitar player. I always love those shots because it almost allows from a fan perspective to get, it's like you're so close and you can see all the movements of the guitar. It's absolutely amazing. Just giving you guys some ideas. It's free of charge.
We even it's not out yet, but next week I think we will release another track-by-track video, and there we have got a competition. Everyone is who's able to play I think it was the verse of a lot of Mictlan. One of them will get a free CD. So
wow,
on guitar, right?
And yes, and it's very difficult to play that.
Yeah.
So
considering you guys don't even have the CDs yet, it better be difficult because it's going to be hard for you to give the winner the CD.
I think they're on their way. I hope so.
You guys are also releasing a lyric video.
Yes, on the 2nd of November, we will release Everlasting Resistance.
One of my favorite tracks on the record. I absolutely love that track. Let me tell you guys this. I think one of the reasons I love that track is because it continues the story of Kambrium that you guys started in the song before. And I really enjoyed Kambrium so much. I didn't want that story to just kind of be isolated to that one song. So when it continued to the next song, and the next song is so different, it has different dynamics to it. It was just a pleasure. That song was another one of my favorites. So I'm really glad to see that you guys are releasing a lyric video, which brings me to a question, which is, you guys, by the time you get to that video, you've released 3 videos. Whose decision it was on which songs to release as lyric videos and as videos in general from this record? Did you guys have full control of which ones to put out, or did the studio also give you guys an input, the label?
No, we have the whole power. We can make our own decisions.
I guess when the label says, we like this song, we want to have a new video for that, then we probably would say, yeah, why not? But first we just take some videos that we like to be done.
Yeah, we try to choose these songs who are the most who are catchy enough, so everyone can sing along with them, and
kind of good to perform.
Yeah, and the thing is, yeah, we could do a lyric video for Kambrium, but it's very difficult to get all this footage in one video for the guy who's making the video. It's so long, and so he asked us for Everlasting Resistance to stand in front of the camera because it's very hard to find footage for him, new backgrounds that is moving, and so we have to take the shorter ones, and not the longer.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Now, once the album is out on November 9th, you guys have your release show that we've talked about. After that, what are the plans? Are you guys planning some other shows, perhaps some tour shows into the new year in 2019? Like, what are your goals? Let's put it that way, in a more abstract way. What are your goals as a band once the album is out and once that release show is done?
We want to play a lot of concerts as much as possible, because we want to bring our music to you guys out there. So it's really important for us to play concerts. And yeah, let's see if we can put together a little tour or something and see where we come along.
We already tried it to organize a small tour, but it's difficult.
But we've got a small tour to Prague, you know.
Yeah.
Czech Republic. We will have, I think it's a festival and two club gigs. Yeah. Hellhammer Festival, I think, together with our friends from Valley Chorus, and so the goal, the plan is to play shows. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, enough about the album and enough about all of this stuff. I want to know more about the three of you, and I want to know more about the band, and I want to know more about what it takes to be a musician these days. Because from what I'm hearing from you guys now, it is hard to go out there and have tours, long extended tours throughout Europe. How difficult it is for a musician to really get their work out there and be recognized for the amount of work that you guys have put into these records.
I think it's very difficult to get our music to the people.
It's not that easy, not that hard, but also not that easy, because you have the internet and you have home recording stuff. So it's pretty easy to just bump out music. But
yes, to create the content and to release it. That's not the thing. The thing is
to get the audience.
To get the audience. To get the people who listen to our music. So we have to do advertisement and something like that. And it costs very much. It's very expensive. So I think that from that point of view, it's very difficult. We are not a big band, a band who has so much money to so everyone is listening to our music. It's easy to send a YouTube link to someone. That's not the thing. But the thing is, people who don't know us have to get in touch with us. They have to find us, and that's the difficult thing.
There are many good bands out there, and it's hard to get to the people with your music.
Yeah, it's. I guess what you're saying is it's hard. It's a big market, right? So there's a lot of bands competing for the same audience, if you will. So it's hard to break through, and hard to break through. Another aspect of that is the tours, because obviously the tours are not cheap. There's money involved with that. The fact that you guys are located in Germany, does that help as far as within the European continent, as far as shows are concerned and gigs are concerned?
So we don't get booked just because we are a German band. That's not like that.
But we're in the middle of everything, kind of Europe. This is Middle Europe, so we can get somewhere kind of easily. It's not like Finnish bands who have to, or Norwegian bands who have to come along, to come a long way.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant. I mean, you guys are located more in more central, so I mean, it's from a travel perspective, it's a lot easier for you guys to get to like Austria or the Czech Republic than it is for some Scandinavian bands. So you feel from that perspective, the costs are perhaps a little bit more affordable, so it gives you guys a better chance to book some gigs and get on the road?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's easier. But one thing I think is one of the difficult things is to find the balance between your job, because you need obviously money to have food and a roof over your head, shelter, and your music, which is your desire to make, and this is really hard. I find.
Yeah, I find a lot of
40-hour week.
fans. Sorry.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you saying?
Yeah. What did you say?
Yeah, we've got a 40-hour week at work. Yeah, every one of us. So, and the band stuff comes after that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, a lot of people are not aware of that. Like that, a lot of bands these days, this is not your full-time job. I mean, you have your other job that puts food on the table, like you said, a roof over your head, beautiful microphones in front of you, you know, that allows you guys to have flowing hair. You know, all of these things are afforded to you through your jobs. So a lot of people are not aware of that you have to take time off. If you were to go and play, I don't know, like 20 shows across Germany, you would have to take time off from work, right, to be able to do that. And that becomes a problem as well.
Yes, but that's very difficult for the audience to see that we have to do other things than just music.
Yeah, we need maybe one day to travel to a gig, and then another day to the next.
Yeah, the thing is, even if we play on Friday evening or Friday night, we have to be, I think, 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. At the rehearsal room to pack our stuff together, to put it into the van, and then to drive, I think, maybe 4 hours to the location.
Or maybe 8 to Switzerland.
Yes.
It's a long way.
And then after this travel there, we have to play there. So I think many people don't see that. They see a band on stage, and after the show they go home. And after the show we have to work again to get it off the stage.
There's more work around the show than the show itself. Kind of.
So I think that the show is maybe 10%, and the other 90% is to work for the show.
Yeah, I really think that there's a disconnect between a lot of the fans and bands in general. I'm not just speaking about you guys, but bands in general, that they don't really understand that it's not just the work that you guys put in creating the record, going into the studio, making the record, putting out there. That's a lot of work already on its own. But then, but then it's still, there's the shows. Like, I mean, you have to sound check, you have to get there early. It's really, what I'm saying is there's a lot more to it than just putting out a record and being a rock star.
And talking about rockstar, maybe this is another discussion for another video. But I think the old bands, which are our great, how do you say, our great masters, which we look up to, they can live from their music. But nowadays you can't. The new bands after that generation mostly can't afford to not have a job beside the music. And this system, I don't know how long this can work in general, or if the fans have to contribute more than just buying one CD or paying the streaming to help the musicians keep up their music. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is, by selling our CD or albums, we could not survive. I think the most thing that brings money to us is merchandise and
people coming to our shows.
The CDs, they don't bring
No, I say this all the time on the channel, like especially when I go to a concert. I always tell this to people: if a band that you love comes to your town, go see them, buy a shirt, buy something,
Yes.
because I feel that guys like yourselves, when you're performing, the way that we can support you, so that you can continue to put records like Dawn of the Five Suns, every couple of years, is by us buying tickets to go to your show, but then also buying some of the merch at that show. That's the best way that we can help you to continue to make music like the one you've done on this record.
Yeah.
And one thing is, another thing is that most people, they have they bought the album and they have it, but they don't see the story behind it, the work behind it. We had much work beside our normal work.
Yeah.
For that.
As a modern band, you have to be a multi-talent. Yeah, you have to be a web designer. You have to be a graphic designer. You have to be songwriter. You have a sound technical engineer. You're
Okay,
multi-talented. You don't just play your instrument. And you have to play your instrument. You have to rehearsal every day, an hour, 2 hours. It's It's a big.
So let me ask you this. Since you mentioned that, I already know that you're a great sound technician because you connected all these microphones and you got everything to work.
In just half an hour. Yeah.
It was the whole, how many Germans does it take to connect a microphone? So do you feel that it is like that, like a musician really becomes a multitasker? You just have to do a whole wide variety of things to really help the band grow?
Yeah, you need every one of us does some kind of a job within the band. We have Carsten, the other guitarist and singer. He is our sound engineer. Then Jan is our head of everything, of
communication and everything. Yeah.
Yes, and planning stuff and writing the most, nearly everything. And Martin is doing homepage stuff and so on. And so everyone has his job, and we need to pull on one string,
kind of. Yes. Yeah. So we have to all of this. We have to put it together to create that band.
Yeah, the gears
to survive. I think. Yeah. The thing is, as a musician, you don't just play music. You have to learn it. You first of all, you have to learn it. Then you have to buy an instrument. Then learn, and then maybe buy a new instrument and
equipment.
Yes, and every single second is learning.
Yeah,
and every time learning.
But this makes it so cool because you just don't stand still. You walk and learn new things and do new things and create new things. Yeah. And this makes it so fun.
And the thing is, we don't we do not always have normal rehearsals to play our music. We even have rehearsals just to
test the sound,
to test the live sound, and just to build up everything. So we have a rehearsal where we think this is a live situation, and we just build up everything.
You're just putting the cable together like on a live show.
Well, this is typical German stuff.
We're trying this. We're trying this to do this in record time. Yeah. 30 minutes to be under 30 minutes, under 15 minutes efficiently. Yeah.
So that when you guys go to a live setting, you know what to do.
Yeah, everyone knows what to do.
Everyone knows which cable is his own and
that's very important.
Where to plug it in.
So we just have 50 minutes to pull up everything
for the changeover.
And we have so much things on the stage. We don't have just our amps on stage and our instruments. We have so much more. And so what do I do when the keyboard is standing? Do I help with the backdrop? Do I do anything else? Get beer. And the most important thing is beer.
Obviously.
So you have a job there. We even have a plan, a paper. Everyone has a paper that he had to not to teach, to
Yeah,
learn,
schedule.
to learn. So and then we had a rehearsal. So we said, no, that's a live situation, and now we have to build it up in 15 minutes. And yeah, that helps a lot. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, I honestly think this only could come from a German band. I honestly don't see a band from Canada or any part of the world having rehearsals to connect stuff to prepare for a live study. I think it's great. I think it's like a pit stop in Formula One. You guys,
yes,
when they
musical, yeah,
and
it's the musical equivalent of a pit stop.
Yes,
we met outside with our sound and light technicians at their company, and the company told every neighbors that there will be a little concert on the Sunday, and it was fine. So we built up everything, the big monitors, the big bass cabinets and everything, and to rehearse outside on a little outside the company. And when we rehearsed, everything was quite fine, and we adjusted the equalizer and everything, so everything sounded fine. And suddenly the police arrived. Yes. So they told us to stop that playing loudly, and we said, well, but the neighbors were informed and stuff, and they said, yeah, those neighbors, but not the neighbors behind the neighbors and their neighbors. So we were pretty loud, and we had to stop everything, but the police was pretty nice and told us
the thing is
was okay.
The thing is we always rehearsed for a club live situation. But we had a big festival gig upcoming, and so we had to rehearsal a festival situation. Yeah. So we built up a big PA,
and it was so needed.
Yes, we built up a big PA in front of a company, that our light and sound engineer works in, and so we had a big PA, and to test if there are changes when the wind is coming and something like that. We wanted the perfect sound, the perfect festival sound, and then to save that on a computer, to bring our own sound
to everywhere, basically.
Yes.
And it was perfect.
Yes, and then the police came.
You can see it in our backstage videos.
Yeah, we have a backstage video where you can see that the police is coming.
Check out our YouTube channel. Yeah, you can see this when the police arrives.
So German.
And
That's hilarious.
We made it loud, so we really wanted. We really built up the big PA. It was almost a small festival PA, and we made it loud. So
put it to 11.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
And
yes, like you said, it was in Wolfsburg.
Yeah,
Das Auto,
Wolfsburg. Yeah, we rehearsed in front of that city, and everyone knew we were there.
That's the city where Das Auto is built.
Yeah.
All right, that's my claim to fame as far as my German is concerned. That and Fräulein. My German is very limited. All right, I want to ask you guys one last question before I let you go. You guys have a lot of good chemistry together. Not only I can tell that from obviously the music, but from talking to you guys today. You guys look like a bunch of brothers. Is that one of the reasons why the band works so well together? Is that you guys are like a unit, like all of you?
They are two brothers.
Yeah, they are two brothers, real brothers. This guy and Carsten. Who is right now in our rehearsal room, and he is building on something.
He's working. He's working.
Patching some cable or something else.
They are really brothers, but together we are bros.
Yeah, we are bros.
Kambrium.
Yeah.
Best dudes.
And the thing is to keep such a good vibe alive is
talk to each other.
Talk to each other.
When someone has a problem, we meet up and talk about that, and to solve that problem that this member has.
And that is maybe another German thing.
Efficiency.
Every year we have a meeting together,
a community talk or something.
One meeting where we have different topics that we are talking about. For example, this time in December, it we are talking about what did we do this year? Did everything turned out as well as we thought, as we wanted? And
what are our goals?
What are our goals
for the next year? Yeah.
Yes. What can we do for the band? And yeah, the thing is to talk.
What
to
can be
each other.
Problems and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're coming to a point where we have to talk about work and bands and how we can bring that all together.
Yeah.
And this is
well, I think it's obvious for anybody, I mean, listening to the music, but also watching this video, that you guys are really a unit. Like, you guys are not just a bunch of individuals. You guys all work together as a unit, and there's a bond there that makes the music even better.
Really
yeah, I really feel that way just talking to you guys today and listening to your music. So on that note, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to sit down with me and answer my silly, stupid Canadian questions. And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I just want to remind everybody, the album comes out November 9th on NoiseArt Records. Go pick it up. Download it on iTunes. Purchase the actual CD. Do whatever it takes to support these guys. They really deserve it. This album is absolutely incredible. Go check out my album review. I think I did a really wonderful job on that. I'm patting myself on the back.
Yeah, we will share that on our channel.
Yeah, we will share it.
Yeah, I really believe in this album. I really enjoyed it. It was really an enjoyable listening experience to this record. There are so many cool songs. And like I said, there's so many different dynamics, so many different things. I just have to say to everybody, go pick it up, download it, purchase it, support it, go see these guys live, buy their merch.
Please be honest, if you don't like anything or like something really much, tell us.
You can tell us if you don't like Maxi. You can tell us.
You can tell us. I will just stay here and
we can just stay here and hash it out.
Yes.
But no, I really enjoyed the album. I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to you guys. I really enjoyed the record. It was really an enjoyable experience. I hope it does well for you guys. I hope it opens doors for you guys. And I really hope the fans pick it up, listen to it, and realize how much work went into the record from not only a musical perspective, but also a lyrical perspective. It's really intricate. There's a lot of cool details to it. There's a lot of different dynamics to it. Enjoyable record all around from the first to the last song. There's no skippable song as far as I'm concerned. So support Kambrium. Go pick up the album. And album, once again, coming out November 9th. See you guys.
Bye. See ya.
Thank you. See ya.